Today we will be discussing one of the most important events in Russian history, the Russian Revolution. This revolution spanned from 1917 to 1921, beginning with the March of Women in Petrograd and ending with civil war. Russia progressed greatly in the few hundred years before the revolution, going from a serf-based state to a vicious autocracy led by Tsar Nicholas II. In addition, the Russians persecuted many of the minorities residing in their country. For example, Russian Jews were severely persecuted and had to suffer through many pogroms across the country. The terror inspired by the government for hundreds of years and the widespread unhappiness contributed to the revolution. But without Russia's humiliating defeat in the Russo-Japanese War, Bloody Sunday, and the Revolution of 1905, the Russian Revolution wouldn't have happened.
Hello.
We want to see the Tsar!
Open the doors, free the path.
The Tsar isn't here.
Yes, he is!
You foolish peasants.
Citizens of Russia, this is your beloved and glorious Tsar Nicholas II. You rebels have caused much turmoil upon our holy land, but in response to the demands of this revolution, I am issuing the October Manifesto. As your generous leader, I am granting you civil liberties, and I am creating the Duma, which will be Russia's legislative assembly. With October Manifesto, I hereby proclaim Russia as a constitutional monarchy.
As tensions in Europe grew, multiple alliances began to form, and the most important being the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente.
I, David Lloyd George, agree to the terms of this alliance.
Nice. I, a representative of the Third Republic of France, agree to the terms of this alliance.
I, Tsar Nicholas, agree to the terms of this alliance.
Well said. Pleasure doing business with you boys.
As tensions in Russia grew between the socialists and the government, Rasputin made matters much worse. A favorite of the Tsar and Tsarina Alexandra, Rasputin was able to meddle in Russian politics. However, the Tsarina protected Rasputin because she believed that he had healed her son Alexis.
Rasputin, I've heard of your fame as a holy man. Can you cure my son Alexis?
We shall see. Alcazar!
You have saved him. I will be forever in your debt.
Got you.
However, a few nobles eventually became so upset they plotted to assassinate Rasputin. Two of the nobles invited Rasputin to their palace and fed them cakes and wine laced with enough cyanide to kill 3 men. However, when this failed to kill Rasputin, the nobles had to come up with a different plan.
I've got you now, Rasputin! Bang!
Oh! Die! You fool!
Bang!
Even with Rasputin gone, the Russian people were still frustrated with their government. This led to the March 1917 revolution, as well as the beginning of the Russian Revolution.
Red!
Down with the autocracy!
Yeah!
On March 15, 1917, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated and the Duma took control of the government, led by the Prime Minister Alexander Kerensky. Although the Duma took control quickly, their power would fade just as rapidly. The new government faced a lot of opposition, most of which came from the Soviets, small councils of workers. Another opponent was a major political party, the Marxist Social Democratic Party, made up of Mensheviks and Bolsheviks, who eventually became known as communists. The leader of the Bolsheviks, V.I. Lenin, quickly took control with the help of his right-hand man, Leon Trotsky.
I now proclaim that Russia will be ruled over by the Council of People's Commissars, with myself as the head and Leon Trotsky as my chief advisor. In support of the Russian people, I declare the land nationalized and the urban workers in control of the factories.
After Russia left the Great War, they were made to sign the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with Germany.
I, Lenin, give the territories of Eastern Poland, Ukraine, Finland, and the Baltic provinces to Germany in this Treaty of Brest-Litovsk.
I, William II, accept these terms and sign this treaty. Pleasure doing business.
However, peace did not last long in Lenin's Russia. In 1918, the country exploded into civil war. The Communists made up the Red Army, while their opponents were known as the White Army. The Communists utilized a policy of war communism to obtain sufficient supplies for the Red Army. And then Lenin formed the Cheka, a secret police whose only goal was the destruction of all opponents of the Bolshevik regime.
You! Hands up! Surrender!
What did I do? What did I do?
You are a traitor to Russia! Bang!
After the Red Army won the Civil War, the economy managed to fall even further. However, after Lenin established his new economic policy, the newly dubbed Soviet Union was saved from complete economic disaster.
Citizens of Russia, it is I, Lenin, and I'm here today to announce the establishment of my new economic policy. There is no more Russia. We are now to be known as the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Peasants, you can now sell your produce, and those industries with fewer than 20 employees are now under private ownership.
Lenin continued to strengthen the power of the communists up until his death on January 21st, 1924. As you can see, the Russian Revolution was a complicated affair that started with the autocracy of Tsar Nicholas II and ended with the rule of Lenin.